What's up, weirdos? Shadetree Surgeon here on the Rocket 3. Butt crack of dawn, at least for me, it's like 9:30. That's pretty early when you work in a bar, all right? We're gonna have to be dealing with a little bit of traffic today because I'm heading over to St. Pete to see my friends at Bert's Harley-Davidson to do a couple of test rides for a very specific purpose. Of course, I live in Tampa, so I gotta cross the bridge, which might be a pain in the butt, but again, we'll see. Ooh, can he make it? Whoa, whoa, maybe not through that. Dang, did that show up on camera? Holy shit. If you weren't paying attention, that'd take you right out, boy. So like I said, I'm going to test ride a very specific Harley for a very specific reason. I mean, also because I think it's a cool bike and I want to test ride it, but here we go. So I'm sure I'll put it in the title, but I'm going to test ride the new Softail Lowrider S. And it's a bike that, you know, I'm not the only person who's excited about this thing. The last iteration of the Dyna, its swan song was the Lowrider S, and the fact that they're bringing it out again for the Softail, I think is pretty damn cool. And by all accounts, it's a much better bike than the Dyna was. I don't have anything against Dynas. I don't have anything against the new Softails. But you guys know that I have an FXR, and so a lot of people call this new Lowrider, the Lowrider S, is like the modern iteration of the FXR. So here's the thing. All y'all know, if you watch me, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Blockhead. You'll know that Blockhead, he just got himself a Lowrider S, and I have an FXR, so I smell a challenge in the making. And you know, me and him joke back and forth about it all the time, but as I build up the FXR, and as he builds up the Lowrider S, what I eventually want to see happen is an old versus new face-off. 1986 FXR S versus 2020 Lowrider S. One built by Blockhead, one built by me. This is going to be years in the making. Don't expect this video to happen next week, but basically I'm heading to Bert's Harley-Davidson to see what kind of competition I'm stacked up against, because as it sits right now, that FXR couldn't beat the snot out of a 9-year-old kid with a cold. It's pretty pathetic, even though I still love it. Yeah, talking about the 86 FXR versus Blockhead's 2020 Lowrider S, what a matchup. My FXR does not even start right now, so like I said, I'm going to see what the competition is like and how far I'm going to have to take this thing in order to compete with a brand new motorcycle. But I'm starting at the bottom.
All right, up here at Bert's Harley-Davidson at the new location, still under construction, but they got a lot of bikes here. I might actually do another video on some mechanic specials that they got going on over there, so keep an eye out for that, but that's not today's video. Today's video is all about the Lowrider S. Man, I'm loving this, like, Stranger Things Harley-Davidson font they're using now. It looks pretty cool. So the Lowrider S, this is the new badass bike. The 114 in a regular Softail chassis with a big inverted front end, with all the bells and whistles, the nice brakes, the go-fast parts. So basically what we're saying is this is an FXDR that doesn't look stupid. Of course, take that with a grain of salt, because I actually liked the way that the FXDR looked. I thought it was ugly as hell, and I like ugly bikes. I ride a Rocket 3, man. Come on, I like ugly. Of course, this is a good-looking bike too, but as good-looking as it is, I'm not here to talk about how it looks nice or anything like that. I'm here to stake out the competition. I'm here to see how far I have to push the FXR in order to keep up with a bike like this, which is probably farther than it can be pushed, to be honest with you.
All right, 2020 Lowrider S with the 114. Let's see what this thing is all about. So I will be honest, I believe that the only new Harley-Davidson that I've ridden in the Lowrider family, I guess it isn't even a Lowrider, is actually the FXDR. So I'm going to get spoiled right now because my very first time on the new Lowrider is on the Lowrider S. I will tell you right now, I've ridden Dynas. This thing feels way smaller than a Dyna. In fact, I will tell you, it feels just like my FXR. as far as size goes, which I guess is why people are saying, yeah, this is basically a modern FXR. Alright, well that doesn't feel like the FXR at all. Yeah, size-wise, I'll say it feels very similar to the FXR. Power-wise, holy crap, dude, this thing is a spaceship. Brakes-wise, also a spaceship. Is that a good comparison to call a brakes spaceship-esque? The FXR sort of like, when you hit the brakes, it does something like somebody described what it's like for a bike to stop, but in another language that it wasn't familiar with, and it just does the best it can. Boy, this thing ain't no joke. Oh man, the power just does not feel like it stops. I'll be honest with you. Oh, God, man. What is this bike even? How can anybody ride this? Dude, I love my FXR, don't get me wrong, but FXR guys, man, they're on a whole other level. I don't know how anybody could ride this bike and say that the FXR is better. I personally like my FXR, and I personally probably wouldn't spend the money on this bike because, I don't know, I just wouldn't. I would rather do my FXR up. But to say that that my FXR is a better motorcycle than this thing is, oh God, and the way it handles too. Oh Lord have mercy. Okay, I was saying I wouldn't spend the money on it. Now that I rode it around a little bit, I don't know, maybe I freaking would, dude. This is out of control. Oh man, Blockhead, you freaking scored. This is a nice motorcycle. It's so like deceivingly fast with this stock quiet exhaust on it too. Dude, if you're sad about Harley-Davidson killing the Dyna, or even if you're still butthurt about them killing the FXR, sit your ass on this thing. Sit an ass on this machine, and you will not be sad anymore. Oh, I will tell you, I'm not going to buy one. Obviously, I cannot afford one, but I could see myself on this bike. 100%. I could see myself on this motorcycle. If I was in the market for a Harley and I threw a leg over this one, I would be sorely tempted. And of course, it's not the Rocket 3. No, it's not that fast. But there's just something about the inexorableness of a big V twin. And like I said, no, it is nowhere near as fast as the Rocket 3. But the way they make power is so satisfying. Oh, I got my work cut out for me on the FXR. I really do, man. It's gonna take a whole lot of tweaking, a whole lot of work to make it anywhere close to the machine that this is. I'm gonna give it the old college try though. What can I say? Old Shadetree loves a challenge, and the more impossible the challenge seems, the more I want to do it. And as how nice this is. Oh man, dude, if I had money, man, if I had like the money to buy like this bike, I'm not saying you got to be rich to buy this bike, but I already own motorcycles. Like I already have a bike payment, you know. I couldn't afford another bike payment. If you didn't have a bike, or if you were trading a bike in, you could certainly afford this bike. But it's not in the cards for me. I own motorcycles. But if I was looking, oh man, if I was looking, this might be, I didn't want to like it this much. I love my FXR, my non-running, leaking oil FXR right now. I love it. And, you know, this has a suspicious lack of tassels, I'll go ahead and tell you. But, oh, that's nice. That's a real nice. I wonder if the FXR will feel like that if I put a big inch motor in it. I've never ridden an old big inch Evo. Like, all my experience on Evos has been leaky, smelly, leaking fluids all over the ground, low compression, piece of crap Evos. I've never ridden a fast Evo, so I don't even know what they feel like when they make power. If they feel like this, I'll be pretty happy about it, though. All right, let me pull this damn thing back into birds before I start asking what the freaking monthly payments would be. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, if you're thinking about test riding one of these things, just be prepared. Be prepared to start asking some hard questions when you get back. God, what a bike. But, like I said, what's happening is we're building the FXR, and now I viewed the competition, and I found out that, baby, it's stiff. It's real stiff. If you guys aren't familiar with the FXR or my channel, I'm currently in the process of getting my FXR, my 80,000 mile 86 FXR, ready to take on a trip to Mexico City, Mexico. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And if you're unfamiliar with Blockhead, he's a good friend of mine, also a YouTuber here in Florida. He just bought a Lowrider S. We're good friends. Obviously, there's no real competition. I just thought it'd be cool to take a ride on the bike that he just bought and start building my bike. And maybe we'll do some videos together on the old and the new. Anyway, I think that would be pretty cool. Make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave me a comment. Until next time, y'all, keep it weird.